Hi, Caitlin. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. I just want to let you know that I will be recording for educational purposes,
Okay.
and that anything we say in this session will remain confidential unless I see that you might be a harm to yourself or for other to other people. So what brings you here today?
I'm just feeling stressed and overwhelmed right now.
If you feel stressed and overwhelmed, how so?
I feel like I've just been fighting a lot with my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
We usually don't fight too much, and lately we've just been fighting like crazy, so it's kind of what brings me here.
Okay. How long has this been going on, you'd say, this fighting?
I'd say like in the last couple months we started to fight more, but like in the past few weeks it's been getting like worse. It's like to the point where we're fighting kind of daily and over things that are stupid to fight about.
Okay. Could you give me maybe an example of one of your fights, or has there been like a common theme about one thing, or is it just a bunch of different fights?
Yeah, so it's like stupid fights. Like
Okay.
we'll fight over laundry. Like we'll fight it over like who does the dishes. It's like it like is small things, and in the moment I'm like, oh, I'm not fighting over this. But then the next day it's again and then again and again, and I'm like, okay, like why are we fighting over things like this? We don't have any severe relationship problems. There's no cheating. There's no, nothing crazy like that. We have a good relationship, but somehow we're arguing every single day.
Okay, so it seems that from what you're saying, up until a couple months ago, you guys had like your relationship was going smooth,
Yeah.
and you weren't fighting as much, and now you're feeling almost drained because it's like you're fighting over things that might not be as severe as
Yeah.
other fights that other fights could be. So tell me more about maybe one of your fights, maybe recently, that has happened.
Okay. So like I go to school and I work.
Mm-hmm.
He works more than me, but he's not in school, so that's a big fight of ours. So he gets home later, so he won't get home until about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And normally by that time, like I'm going to bed. So we don't see each other as much, as we'd like to. So the
Mm-hmm.
other night he came home. Again, I was like going to bed. I was going to sleep.
Okay.
He came home and he like got mad that I didn't take out the garbage, and like I left clothes in the washer. So like we're fighting back and forth. He's like, well, I shouldn't, have to come home to do laundry and take out the garbage. And I just like got so mad because I was sleeping, and like you're yelling at me over garbage and laundry.
Uh-huh.
And I understand that he's coming home from work and he doesn't want to walk into that, but I just walked in an hour or two prior from work and school, and then I had homework, and I feel like we're both so busy. So our big that was like not a big fight, but it was like we didn't talk the next day. He left for work in the morning and didn't say bye, so I went about my day. He didn't text me, so I didn't text him.
Okay.
And then we didn't talk about it until the night again, the next night, which was 10 o'clock again, and obviously we live together, so
Uh-huh.
we're gonna have to see each other. So then I was like, all right, like I'm sorry I left the laundry, and I'm like going to bed, like why am I apologizing for leaving laundry in the washer? But that's like what it comes down to.
I see what you're saying. So you're feeling overwhelmed because you work and
Yeah.
you're going to school full time, and you said that he works more than you, but he doesn't have school, so
Right.
you're exhausted by the time he comes, and like it seems that little things are both escalating into something that is bigger, and do you find yourself like you're the one first getting angry, or is he getting angry first? Like, how does...
It depends. I would say honestly, it's like more him now. So
Okay.
I'm very confrontational. So if he gets annoyed at me,
Okay.
I'll instantly like I know that I could handle it better, but
Okay.
like I just get so mad that he is like giving me an attitude. I'm like, who are you talking to? So I know that part is me. But I do feel that he has been having a shorter temper with me, like that I've been noticing, like definitely. He's getting like angry at things that he usually doesn't, or caring about things that he shouldn't care so much about or
I
be
see.
so involved in. So I don't know if it's just stemming from the little things and it's turning into bigger issues.
Okay. So let me understand. Do you think, let me see how to phrase this. So could you imagine, I know you've been fighting for past couple months, as you said, and I know you're stressed over that, but could you think of how it was before you guys started fighting? Like how did you feel back then? Like how were you emotionally?
Yeah, we were always like pretty happy. We didn't fight. We didn't have those kind of problems.
Okay.
I wasn't in a great relationship before him, so when I started to date him, I was like, okay, this, I kind of transitioned relationships, so I didn't really have my time in between. So that's a big part. I don't resent him, but I appreciate how good he was and how much we didn't fight, because again, I was in a relationship where that was very constant, the fighting and arguing. So I was like, I'm never doing this again. So we didn't. We've been together now for 3.5 years. So we haven't been fighting for, I'd say, at least 3 years. Like very little, like minimal, normal fights. But it was never like every single day. It's something. Like, it's literally like laundry. Like, I don't want to fight over laundry. I don't care about the laundry. Like, I don't care. So that's a big fight of ours too. I don't care about a lot of things, and he's very like tedious, and I'm just like, whatever, I'll do it tomorrow. And he's like, oh my god, like they've been in the wash for 20 minutes, they're gonna smell. I'm like, they're fine, it's 20 minutes. So it's a lot of back and forth like that. So I remember us being happy and like this not being the case, and not that we're not happy, but I feel we just have more going on.
Well, it seems that you still could see yourself happy in your relationship, because before all this, you were happy. You did come out of a relationship where you were constantly fighting, and I know you said you had little time to transition, but he was good. He was there for you, so
yeah.
You seem a little more confident with him now, which is great. And right now I think it seems that you're not like, you're still hopeful during this relationship. You still want to make it work. You're just trying to think of ways maybe to not fight as often, especially over small things, because you're already stressed out with work and school, and he's working a lot as well. Have you sat him down and spoke to him about how you feel, or?
Not really. I haven't really talked to him much. Again, he gets home so late. We only have one like full day off together, so that's mainly like our day where we'll like do things around the house and shop and this and that. So I know I need to like take advantage of that time and kind of just sit him down and talk to him about how I'm feeling, because he honestly might not know. He's not, he probably doesn't even realize that it's becoming this much of an issue. I don't think he's looking at it like, oh god, like she's so frustrated, she's going to counseling, so. Well,
it seems that you definitely want to make this work out
yeah.
Between you two, and you are taking the initiative to figure out more techniques on how to cope with it. I know it must be tough for you, because you have a lot on your plate with school and work.
Yeah.
A goal during the session, would that be to figure out maybe a way to talk to him about what's been on your mind and how maybe to lessen the fighting?
Yeah.
Is that one of your goals?
Yeah, I think that would help.
So like on a stress level, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not stressed and 10 being very stressed, when you walked in here having to talk about your relationship, how stressed were you? Like how stressed have you been in your relationship so far?
I've been pretty high. I'd say like an 8 stress level.
Okay. So since you are aware, you seem pretty aware of what you want to accomplish with him. Do you think maybe take a second to maybe think of maybe how you would, I know you guys don't have a lot of time, alone time, because of work, and you only have that one day. So maybe during that one day, do you think you could approach him? Is there a specific way you would want to do it?
Yeah. I think I just need to talk to him. Obviously alone Sunday, like I said, we have a lot going on in the day. We do chores and shopping and stuff, and at night we usually have friends over for football. So I think that maybe I could sit him down and ask him if we could just spend the night together, kind of talk to him a little bit about it, and just get us on the same page and figure out why we've been arguing so much and how we can minimalize it.
Okay. So it seems like that Sunday, the day where you have off together, that would be the ideal day for you to kind of bring it up and ease into it. Maybe could you take a second to tell me what you would say? Maybe, like how you would go about it on Sunday? I know you said that you have a lot going on, but at the same time, do you know how you would approach him? And what you would say?
I think I would just approach it in a way where I need to express that it's bothering me so much because, again, I honestly don't think he knows the extent. I think, I don't think it bothers him as much as it's bothering me. I think he, will argue in that moment, and then it'll be done. So I think I need to sit him down and kind of explain it to him because I don't think he really understands. And I think once I explain it to him and he realizes this is how I've been feeling, we'll both come to a solution to kind of stop arguing so much and get back to the place we were, because I know that if he knows how I was feeling this stressed about it, he would do whatever he can to, make me feel better and eliminate that.
So it seems like out of the two of you, you're the one affected by it the most.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not like he's ignoring or anything. I think it's just, it's affecting you more. You have a lot more on your plate, and it's just, you're not used to all this, and to him, it's kind of just normal. And I'm sure that, as you're saying now, you're expressing to me that if you do talk to him about it, things will appear differently, and maybe he'll take more initiative in working with you as you talk to him about lessening the arguments,
definitely,
and laying it down. So
I feel like a bigger, not a bigger issue, but I feel like one of the issues, I know he works, like I mentioned, he works a lot. He works, say, at least 60 hours a week. So I know he is working more, and again, it's for us, he makes money. I shouldn't complain about that. He's very supportive, and he does a lot. So when he gets home and he's like, "Oh, you didn't make dinner," I'm like, "No, of course I didn't make dinner." But he's not understanding that, for me, yes, you are working all the time, but I'm on the other end of that. You're working, he'll leave the house at 8 in the morning, and he won't come home until 10 o'clock at night. So I don't see you all day. We talk minimally. We have one day off together. We used to have at least 2. He used to be off Saturday, Sunday. He opened a new business, and now he started working Saturday as well. So now we only have one day together. He's a football fanatic, so we watch football all Sunday. We have people over at night. So it's still we don't have that time anymore that we used to have. So I understand his frustration that I'm not doing these things. He's coming home late and stuff, but he also doesn't look at it you're literally leaving me home all week by myself. My job, I like I said, I am in school, but my job, I get out at 4. Sometimes I get out earlier, sometimes 5, but I'm always home at a decent time. So I'm home 4, 5, 6 hours sometimes before he does.
Okay.
So I don't think he's realizing that our timing is just what's could be causing some of the bickering and the arguing.
So you do have different schedules, as you said, and just as I said before, you are very aware of how you do want a future, and you do see that he is working because he wants to maintain, he wants to maintain a future for you both, and you're understanding his side, but you also want to make sure that your relationship is getting the time it needs to kind of grow more.
And he does mention that. You mentioned the future, and that is something that we discuss, and that he'll bring up well, I need to work, you want to get a house, and we want to have kids, this and that. So I see it from a financial perspective, but then he's also not looking at it as okay, you're working, you're doing good, but what is this, how it's always going to be? Do you think we're going to build a future and I'm going to see you one day a week? So, and I think that also is kind of getting to me a little bit more too, because like I mentioned, now we've been together for 3.5 years. We're both getting older. He's almost 30. We're getting older. And the schedule is the same. So it doesn't look like it's gonna change. This is kind of it. What he has to do is what he has to do. So, I think that's, some of the fights could stem from things like that, where I'm just getting mad at little things because there's bigger things that we just ignore.
Okay, so it seems, so you mentioned another point about your future, so it seems that maybe that might be another part of the talk when you do talk to him about how, is this how it's going to be in the future, lay it down, because because it seems like that's another thing that's bothering you, is that,
Yeah.
you know, like you guys have your set schedule. He seems to have a set schedule, and so do you, and you kind of want more in a sense. You kind of, you know, you're like, you almost seem right now, you're seeming a little overwhelmed just because of how everything's planning out, and you kind of just want you guys to grow, and it seems that you're unsure on how you guys can grow with the routine being the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, I just feel like we fell into like this routine, and I don't like want to do that. I'm not routine. Like, I'm not, you know, I don't want to do the same thing every single day. So I feel like, you know, that's like one of our big issues.
Okay. So you are aware of everything. It seems like you are aware of your problems with him, and it seems that they are fixable.
Yeah.
You're not afraid to approach him.
Yeah.
Do you think when you do, like you said, this coming weekend, do you think you'd be comfortable with, how soon do you think you could approach him about all of this?
Yeah, I think I could do it this weekend, like on Sunday, just kind of talk to him before, you know, we go about our day. Like I mentioned, our Sundays are very busy because that's our only day, but maybe before we do all that, we could just have a conversation. And like I said, I think if I explain it to him, I'm hoping that he will realize what he hasn't been realizing, if that makes sense. Like it's not brought, if I bring it to his attention, he will, you know, be more aware of it, and we can kind of like figure out a solution to move forward and, you know, do something. I know there's not much we could do for the sake of the time and the routine, because it is what it is, but maybe there's something, you know, we can do something.
To find like a middle ground between the two of you.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there's no middle right now. It's like his way or my way, and like we don't have a path, you know.
You seem like you're butting heads over small things that are...
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so do you think when you do approach him, do you think it would go smoothly, or do you have any apprehensions about how it could go?
So I think it will go smooth in the way that he doesn't want me to feel like that. But he's very, like, nothing's his fault. So that's one of our biggest issues. Like, I'll bring something up in, like, a just calm way, like you and I are speaking, and he will just, like, get mad. So, like, an example, when he does my laundry, there's certain things that he can't put in the dryer, but he'll put them in the dryer and they shrink, and I get so mad. So, like, I'll say something to him, like, hey, you know, like, I appreciate you doing the laundry, and this is literally how I say it. Like, I appreciate you doing the laundry, can you just not do it? Like, just don't touch it, I'll do it. And he's like, well, you don't do it, and then like forget it. But I'm like, I'm not being mean, I appreciate you trying to help, but you're ruining all my clothes. So then I'm like, well, I didn't do that. I'm like, oh God, someone broke into our apartment and did laundry, like, so he's never wrong.
Okay.
So I think what the downfall of this could be is that he's gonna look at it like, I'm not wrong. Like, what are you talking about? What do you want me to do at work? Because that's been a fight too.
Okay.
If we have like birthday parties or something like that, or we're going somewhere, or we have a date, something, and he has work, I'm like, you're working? He's like, I have work. What do you want me to do? Like, this is my schedule. You know this is my schedule. So there's really, like, no conversation about work. Like, I can't bring it up. Like, that's it. This is what I have to work. This is what I do. You know, you knew this when I opened a business. This is it. So I feel like it could go either way. It could go very well, where he's going to be like, oh, I didn't know you were feeling like this. Or he could be in one of his moods and be like, you know, what do you want me to do? I'm working. So I really won't know until I'm in the situation.
Okay, so to my understanding, you're feeling a little bit uneasy right now, just thinking of how it could turn out with him.
Yeah, definitely a little uneasy, I would say.
Do you think, now that you have brought up the different issues that you would like to discuss with him, do you think you could take a second and maybe, like if he were here right now, like how would you approach it? Maybe talk to me as if I'm him.
Okay.
And maybe.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Okay. Alright. So hey, I just wanted to talk to you. I know we're super busy today, but as I'm sure you've noticed, we've been fighting a lot over things that we don't normally fight about. We don't have a lot of problems in our relationship. And I feel, you know, on my end that I'm noticing that we're fighting and bickering over stupid little things. We both have a lot of stress. I understand that you work a lot, and I appreciate everything, you know, you do for us, but maybe we could just try to make some more time for each other and, you know, not argue about stupid things. If I don't do the laundry, you know, you could just put it in the dryer instead of, like, having to yell at me for not putting it in the dryer. I won't yell at you for shrinking my clothes. I mean, they're already shrunk, like, what am I gonna do? You know, maybe we could try to make some more time for each other, too. I know on Sunday we're very busy, but, you know, football is on 3 different times of the day. Maybe one of those times we could go do something just us, and not watch football or not have people over for one night and just, you know, kind of have our own night. I feel like when we started dating, we didn't have these kind of issues, and I just don't want us to end up, you know, ending our relationship or getting to the point where we can't come back from the fighting. So, you know, that's how I feel about the situation, and I'm bringing it to your attention. I'm not saying that you are wrong or I'm wrong, just we've been arguing, and I just want us to stop.
Okay. Are you comfortable with everything you said? Did you want to add anything, or?
No, I think that's how I would kind of start it, and I'm sure it's going to be much bigger conversation than that, but those are just some ideas that I feel like I can at least start the conversation to kind of bring it up and see how he takes it from there, and that will kind of determine my next moves.
Okay. It seemed like a good start. You seem to really understand where you're coming from and where he's coming from.
Yeah.
You also admitted some of your faults, maybe. You also mentioned, like, how you could say things, how you approach it, you know.
Yeah.
An example is shrinking your clothes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there's definitely things that I know I can do. So maybe if I start doing those, then he can do it, like, on his own end, and then we'll come to, like, a happy, you know.
Yes.
I know, like, I recognize a lot of it is me. So I think that if I can stop, like, the unnecessary stuff like that, then he will as well, and maybe we will have, like I said, a better, like, middle ground.
You seem very aware of everything, and
yeah.
You seem like you know exactly how to make things work again, because you said you were there. It's only been the past couple of months, you know.
Right.
You fell into a pattern. It's not, it doesn't seem too severe right now.
Right.
But you are taking initiative, so hopefully this weekend, as you said, you can approach him and maybe kind of talk to him, ease him into it. You already kind of got a grasp of how you would approach him.
Yeah, definitely.
So I know living together must be kind of like, it must be tough sometimes, just because it seems like your schedules, so maybe once you guys are on the same page, it'll be a little easier on yourself and himself.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of it, like the fact that we live together and we spend so much time apart, you know. But yeah, I think, you know, after today, it did bring me more awareness. I recognize some things that I could do differently, and some things that I want to talk to him about, and I think it could help.
Yeah, definitely. So I definitely see where you're coming from about how are you feeling, and do you feel a little more comfortable in this session at all?
Yeah.
Like, since when you came in?
Yeah, I definitely feel more relaxed. You know, I kind of came in all over the place. I was just stressed. I knew it was because we were fighting, but I didn't really have like a core reason. And kind of talking about it kind of brought me back to, it is like our different schedules. So, you know, yes, we fight over little things, but it's the timing, and, you know, we're fighting at this because you got home so late, or I didn't do this. So it really is just coming back to the core issue that it's the schedule. We're not spending enough time together. We're kind of like sometimes I kind of feel like we're like roommates. It's weird.
Okay.
So I think that's, you know, I can kind of build off that. And I know he, you know, again, I don't think he knows how, like, strongly I feel about it, and I'm sure if I bring it up to him, hopefully he isn't like, oh, I'm not wrong. Hopefully he'll recognize it, and we can kind of move past it a little bit, because, again, I don't want us to, like, break up over something that,
Definitely.
you know, shouldn't be.
It also seems like this must be the first time you're actually airing it out. Because you haven't told him yet or talked to him about it yet, so it seems like you're kind of just getting your thoughts together about it.
Definitely.
Which is good.
Yeah. I would say that's definitely part of it. We sweep a lot of things under the rug just because, like, sometimes I'll want to be like, oh, like, why'd you get home so late? But I'm like, this gonna be a fight. Like, I avoid things to be fights, you
Okay.
know. And I don't really tell my friends about it as much because I don't want them to worry and think like, oh, you know, because they saw me in my past relationship, as I mentioned, and, you know, they know how I can get when I'm angry. Like, I just don't have time, or I just don't care. Like, so I don't want them to worry about our relationship because I don't think it's at a state where anyone needs to worry. It's just, I would just like to go back to our relationship prior to the scheduling and our fighting and stuff like that. So I think this is like the first time I'm kind of getting it all out and, you know, recognizing it.
Okay. So to my understanding, in this session, you came here kind of overwhelmed and stressed over your relationship, falling into a routine for the past couple months. You know, as you said, the fights were kind of over small things as laundry or dishes, and you were kind of getting upset because you're like, why are we fighting over something like this?
Right.
And you know it has potential because you said even before all this happened, you guys were great. You've been together for a long time. It's nothing like your first one.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's not as severe because, like, you don't want your friends to worry as well because they did see you in another relationship that was different. And it seems that you also came here and you figured out a way to become, to approach him instead of being confrontational between you. And you seem more aware of your actions and his actions and how it could turn out. And so it could either, you said it could either go both ways. So I think next time I see you next week after the weekend, I could check in with you and see how the talk went.
Yeah.
And based on the outcome, we can either figure out more ways or another way to approach it.
Yeah.
And then you can tell me how you feel and how it's been going with you, and anything else you decide to talk about.
Okay.
So it seems that this was a good first session, and you seem to know what to do this weekend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I'll do that, and hopefully I have good news next session.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so too. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Lord, I never know how to wrap